relationship, career, security, one of the best ways for us to get to where we want to get to is identify exactly what it is that we want, because then who's accountable? We're accountable. We're responsible. Okay, so you can see why a lot of people choose the easy way out and think, well, I'm not so sure. I'll sort of like duck under the covers on that one there. Because if you don't get to where you want to get to, if you're not happy, if you're not confident, it was because the teacher back at school. It was because your parents. It was because the guy down the street. No. It's because of you. You're accountable. Okay, but when you're accountable, one of two things happen. You've got a responsibility there. The ball's in your court, and how you play it back is up to you. So by identifying exactly what you want in your life, you become accountable to get to where you want to get to. Okay, so the key is, with the breakthrough session, and a bit of thought provocation, we actually fall into this breakthrough session on the next weekend, is for you, okay, because I really believe self-application is the most powerful way to be able to learn how to apply it as a model to other people, is decide exactly what it is that you want in these various areas, okay? And if we decided let's take an example, okay? If we took career as an example, okay, I would like, as a career, to be a coach who works in a variety of different areas, and you're able to sort of come up with a figure financially, which is sustainable to you, and also the sort of people that you'll be working with and helping, and really specifically deciding where you'd like to be ultimately on your journey, okay? And you can specifically, even to the point that you could, in your own mind, decide on the people you'd like to work with, the organisations, the group of people you'd like to be working with, and then you can decide as an ultimate level that would be, say, a 9 or a 10, okay? And then you could say, okay, well, where am I now on the basis of getting there? Okay, and you can write down where you are, and by cross-referencing the two you can decide, well, I could be a 5, I could be a 6, I could be whatever, I could be there. Okay, I could be there. You could be a 7, and if you are a 7, then what do you need to do for it to be a 9 or a 10? You're back in control, you're in the driver's seat. Okay, the same applies for security in life. Well, where are you where that is concerned? Okay, and what exactly constitutes as being secure? If you're that desperate for security, then you could go to prison. You get all the security you want. You could do. But then you'd have to sacrifice your freedom and other values that are important, and maybe do something that you don't really want to do. Okay?
Jimmy, have you come across prosperity maps?
Who's that, sorry?
Prosperity maps, Charles.
Prosperity?
Yeah. There's a lady that's a master practitioner.
Sure.
And I spoke to, well, worked with her. She came across this, she explored this prosperity map, and it was just exactly what you put there, you know, with the health, the family, the relationships, the career. And all I've done is, when I set my company, I work out a loft, and I've got these flip charts up, and yes. I've got a circle in the middle, and then I've split it to 4. So I've got health, I've got work, I've got family, career, and I've put, going off there, what I want as a target for getting where I want to get to.
Yes.
And I suppose this is so I've done that, and that's what I mean now, and it's really how fast it's working, because it's probably telling my consciousness that's what I do on a daily basis.
Yes.
But this is probably the gap that says, well, before you do all that, you really want a gap analysis, don't you?
Well, if you want to, use that terminology, of course, yeah, definitely.
Sorry,
no, you are, exactly, yeah.
So this, I can see where this all fits in. I just wondered if anyone else will come across that sort of thing.
I don't do pie chart, but I do write it all out in columns.
Right.
Okay, and it will change as you go along. Okay, so it's worth reviewing and revisiting where you're up to periodically, every 3 months, every 6 months, every year. Maybe starting the new year and deciding exactly what you want to do. So the breakthrough, in the sense of working with someone, an individual or a group, okay, we're able to isolate these areas, okay? Or maybe someone might come to you to work on one area only, and you use these principles, breakthrough principles, to achieve what they want in that area, okay? So if someone comes along and wants to work with me on, say, a specific goal that ties in to this category, then I'll isolate that and work predominantly on that area, okay? I will recommend that they also work on various other areas, but if they tell me they're happy and they are where they want to be in those areas, then it's none of my business, quite frankly. I've got, you know, to deal with what they want as they see fit. But what I would say is the key is to be able to establish with your client or clients in various areas what exactly do they want, and be very specific about what they want in various areas, okay? Then on a scale of 1 to 10, because that's the only way we're going to quantify it, where are they now, okay? And how will they get to that benchmark that they set themselves, which is the key. Because if we don't know how we're going to get there, then we may as well be chasing our tail. And if we don't know what we want, then what chance have we got of getting anywhere closer to whatever else? And then it has a knock-on effect. Then I'm sure you all come across people who they just go through the motions. Okay, they go through the motions. They're reacting, whatever. It's always somebody else's fault, but theirs. I'm not happy because the government did this. I'm not happy because this is what happened over there. I'm not happy because of this. When they're not really doing anything about it on their own accord.
You can kind of understand though, because do you know what, as amazing as it is doing all this stuff, oh, this is where I want to be, like, this is what's important to me, it's once you realise actually it is up to you to you know, it's up to you.
Yes.
As exhilarating and amazing and empowering that is, it's terrifying.
Yes.
Because it's like, it's down to you. Oh my
Yes.
God.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's brilliant, but
Yeah.
you know, you can see why people find it easiest to blame it on other people because,
Yeah.
you know, it's less scary.
Yeah. Well, what happens when someone blames somebody else? What happens?
Absolves them. Yeah, they'd have to take responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And okay. So we can have one or two different approaches. And what Esme says, yeah, definitely. It can be terrifying. You know, very much so. It can probably be daunting. But then, you know. What worth is what worth is a goal if it doesn't get you up at 2 o'clock in the morning every now and again thinking? Then everybody would do it. Okay, anyone will get up the street. It takes something special. It takes something special to be a Jay Carroll, to be a Roger Federer, to be you know, whoever, and it takes something special to be even, you know, in the case of a single parent, to bring up kids on their own and go to the gym and live a life and work. Of course it does. Definitely, yeah. We can do one or two things. We can resign ourselves. I think what probably would be more terrifying and what sparks people in the action and what I would hate for anyone to do is to hit that rock bottom, because what we will do and what a lot of people will do, we've got a level here and a level there. Here being ultimate happiness and ultimate gratification, and here being hitting the bottom of the barrel. We'll stay here, because here's safe. Okay? This is fine. This is safe. Until eventually, if you hit there, what do you do? What do you do what does someone do when they hit the rock bottom? What do they do?
Look for someone else to sort it out.
Well, they all either sink or swim. Okay, either sink or swim. They either start making their way back up again, or they just surrender themselves. No. Okay. Have you ever come across anyone, or even been in a situation yourself where rock bottom? Okay, it's not a good place to be. So why not start from here and work your way out? Then wait for yourself to get down here, because it'll be a hell of a lot more terrifying when you're down here. Okay, and you've got to make your way up to when you're here, and it'll be a much more journey to make your way out from here. Okay, because making your way out from here to here is always going to be that little bit more easy as a roadmap than making your way out from down here. So part of the breakthrough coaching is about being able, or you being able to get to where you want to get to, okay, and also being able to help people get to where they want to get to in various areas of their life. And you've got all the tools, they're all there. You know how to model people, okay? Well, at least you've got some powerful insights and you're well on the way to understanding how to model people to where they want to be. You know how to work out what's important to someone, what somebody wants, what you want. And the next phase, and it's probably the most powerful thing that, one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful thing on this course, and probably any other course for that matter, is bringing this breakthrough session into effect in a formalised way where you can enjoy it. Go out and have a blast.
I think the word I'd like to put in there, because I have been close to all that, believe you me, and even though I think I've got a big story, there's some huger stories out there than mine. So I think the word is recognition, because you are sinking, you know, you get another avalanche on top. So before you can get above that, there's another load, and then there's another load. A bereavement, then another bereavement, because they're quite open the list. And then your relationship breakdown, and then the finances, and then your own job. Everything isn't really on the balance. And it is that, and I've not found it yet, but it is actually just recognising where that, recognising the recognition, that's the phrase.
Yes, yeah.
But it is thinking, stop, before another one comes, and it is, you know, being out there, because
Yes.
maybe that is the bit that, sorry Julie, I don't know,
Yeah.
it's my explanation here, isn't it? It's just, when you get down there, you're thinking, is that the last one? I can get up now, you know, the avalanche has stopped, I can climb out now. Before you recognise that there's another one on its way.
And the news is really, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, it's never going to be the last one. Because that's life. That's just that's the way life is. You know, life is life, where if we're expecting to live happily ever after, like in a Hollywood film, everything falls into place, you're bullshitting yourself, because at the end of the day, that's not life. The reality is, and you are right, everyone's got different levels of resilience in terms of how they cope with different things that go on in their life, and I don't deny for 1 minute some people haven't had more difficult circumstances. Look, I work with what they call the worst 3% offenders in the country, and some of them had horrific upbringings, horrific. You wouldn't care to imagine. You wouldn't begin to imagine what they've been through in a very short space of time. You couldn't even comprehend in terms of what's going on. You know, raped by their own parents, for goodness sake, being left outside to fend for themselves at early age. I don't deny people have had, you know, and then on the other hand, you could get someone who's had a great private education, fantastic parents who turns to drugs. What's the exact science? Who knows? I don't deny some people have had better opportunities than others. Yeah, we go back to the other analogy. Choosing our response is up to us. I've got a very close friend of mine who I worked for many, many years, and I still work with now in an advisory capacity. He's back in Africa coaching. And I don't think he'd mind me sharing his story. This is a guy that, you know, he lost in a civil war in Africa. So many people that were close to his family. This is a guy that, you know, was carrying a gun at 7 years of age, defending his family, for goodness sake. And he's gone on now to have a very balanced family life, a very successful career, and a great story to tell to inspire other people. So we can do it, okay? We can do it. And to think that, you know, for anyone to be naive enough to think, okay, along the way we're not going to have these setbacks, we're not going to go through breakups, we're not going to go through bereavements, we're not going to go through job loss, we're not going to go through all these things that go on in our life. We're not living in an area for a while. It will happen, yeah. If we know where we're going, not only is the journey more pleasurable and more purposeful and more self-gratifying, we also are constantly evolving and developing, and we'll fall better within ourselves because we'll meet those needs a lot more effectively. So we're not just going for the goal for the sake of going for the goal so you can, you know, achieve what you want and, you know, call your friend down the road and say, well, look what I've got, you know, I just managed to buy myself a brand new car, you know, what have you... We're not doing it for that. You're doing it for your own fulfilling reasons, okay? You're not becoming a footballer because you think, okay, you're going to attract, you know, a certain type of person. You're doing it because of your own reasons, okay? Which is key, and it's long lasting. And that's probably the secret behind people's success. You know, if you take a Sir Richard Branson, if you take a David Beckham, if you take a J.K. Rowling, they did what they did because it meant to them, okay? And it was what they wanted for themselves. It brought them gratification on a various level. And that's not to say, as I don't know any of them personally, other areas of their life, there wasn't challenges there, and I don't know how they handled that. But then that's life, isn't it?
Some coping mechanisms, isn't it?
Mm.
So, I know when I spoke with my ex-wife, a guy that who does NLP now, he was very good. He said, you know, just make sure that you talk to people about, you know, what you're going through, get rid of your crap, because so many people keep it bottled in, don't they? They put a lid on it, and that's when they get an achy leg, or they hit the bottle, or they go into drugs, and things like that. And it's having a coping mechanism so that you can just now and again empty all your crap out, because like you say, you can have it all the way through your life. And unfortunately, some people seem to have harder lives than others.
Yeah, and also some people seem to respond to certain things in a more resilient manner than
And I
others.
think some people may reinforce their belief system that they sort of like draw things to them, you know, unconsciously. You know, if I think I'm a negative person, then I'm going to reinforce that with everything I do in my life, and sometimes that affects people, doesn't it? You know.
Precisely, which brings us to the last aspect and final thoughts before we meet up again. Now, the key is to bring what you want in your conscious awareness, because if I mention red Ford Fiesta, you probably haven't seen one all day, then you'll drive back home and see 10 of them, because it's in your conscious awareness. Okay, now I know there has been books published, some of these books call themselves secret, by the way, as well. I know they've been published about how to get what you want by visualising and everything else. Well, I've got a very simple explanation for all that. It's not rocket science. Because I can guarantee you one thing, you can sit down with your legs crossed like this and your hands out and close your eyes, and no one's going to drop a bag of money over your head. It's not going to happen. You've got to get off your ass and do it. Okay, but if you are thinking in that way, and if you've got an idea of what you want, as they put it, manifest